Итак, после продолжительного перерыва продолжаем окунаться в диско Elysium. Проверим, пожалуйста, что мы получили. Желтая кружка.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here?
Почему
Not
бы нам не
much.
обсудить?
But it will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted. It is time to return to work.
Да. Вспоминаем стиль этой игры. Испорченный журнал.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Ужас. Что-то мы уже тут осматривали. Попробуем снова посмотреть материалы дел.
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter.
Да, потихоньку начинаем вспоминать. Все это мы уже смотрели.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Проверка логики. Высокие шансы. Могу ли теперь ознакомиться с делом?
It's proving to be
Да
harder
что?
than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
Жить. Так, пролистать желтые страницы.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
Тип бланка. И какие типы?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Да уж.
You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Штраф за нарушение общественного порядка.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague.
Ой-ой. Повестка.
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Да уж. Вскрытие на месте.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Пожалуй, действительно достаточно.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys.
Жуть.
The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Сможем ли мы открыть планшет? Тайник точнее. Опа.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know.
Ужасный вид. Парить. Открываем, разумеется.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
Что же там?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Так, билеты.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too.
Классно. Берем, конечно.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Ну, разумеется, мы понюхаем.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Тихо, открываем.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting.
Значит, это глубоко в голове где-то.
Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
Да, прям не знаю, что делать. Прочитаем чуть-чуть еще.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Читаем далее.
Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest down Voyager Road.
Боже мой.
Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Мне кажется, если мы продолжим читать, то у нас какой-нибудь адский удар по голове произойдет. Боевой дух просто в минус идет. Продолжим.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Так, ну пока что все вроде бы более-менее.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small. You feel the ledger slip from your hand.
Ох, неряха.
No. Hold on.
Держимся.
To what? There's nothing.
Блин, депрессия.
Detective, is everything all right?
Если Ким с нами, то можно и упасть. Понял? I'm sorry. What the fuck? Что это было?
There is nothing. Again.
Пожалуй, побежим.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
Максим глаз. Все тихо и спокойно.
Is it? The world is gone. You are no longer reacting to outward stimuli, yet still.
A bitter, caustic sense of loss remains. Even in the darkness, great sorrows slip in the water. Slimy.
Жесть какая.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow.
В палеомаммальном мозгу.
Because it's always there.
Это была бывшая, которая там... Это...
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Какой еще труп, ты чё?
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape, its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Ой, да, с вами разговаривать. Мы лучше просто полежим и не будем двигаться.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Ким, или те алкаши?
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you.
Боже, в воду.
And it's...
It's delicious.
О,
Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Где я?
In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Ким просто MVP.
Drink. Water.
Конечно, пьем.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Вот так вот, блин. Предались воспоминаниям.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Я просто босс. Спасибо, Ким.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
Да, на самом деле, наткнулся на выгоревшие руины из своего прошлого, лейтенант. Жить. Ну, сначала узнаем, как это выглядело снаружи.
You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
Жить. А сколько я водился?
10 minutes, maybe.
О, ну хорошо. Ладно. Подведем итоги тем, что я наткнулся на руины.
That does sometimes happen.
Да. Что за журнал неудач и ненависти?
He replies with
Ah,
such
there's no dollars.
understanding. It's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Да. Вперед.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses.
Интересно. Где он? У нас тут. О, он теперь стал. -2 авторитет. Потому что он у нас слегка обоссан.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside.
Посмотрим
It's
дневник.
barely held, without resistance or sound. The two panels move. It's slightly.
Да, убираем нафиг. Эмпатия и внутренняя империя. Авторитет нам пригодится разве что в разговоре с теми балбесами. Ну, 15 бутылок. Ладно, возьмем руку. Первый дом. Да. Монтировку? Ну, уберем. Так, что у нас еще есть интересная книга, краткое описание инфраматериализма. Жуть.
The face of King Freecell smiles at you. For some,
Ужас. Белый конверт.
you take
который
the
мы должны
legal
подписать.
documents out of the envelope.
Угу. Записки из холодильника мы читали.
The note is written with
Так, фотография татуировок. Удостоверение.
a police badge
Wow.
on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
Да, мы нашли.
At least something good came out of all this.
Что ж, изучим.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Идем по порядку.
The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge.
Видимо, когда получал новое удостоверение, лицо было уже подпитое.
Good choice. A newer photo would look different. 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
Которым как раз сбрили. Да, почему он подмигивает?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Имя Гаррия Дюбуа.
Harrier, that's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
Можно отказаться от Гаррия Дюбуа. А что за имя-то такое? Гаррия.
It's a wartime name, revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times, like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
Нифига себе.
A name like armor.
Да, действительно броня. Нет, такое имя мы примем.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
Мистер Ким.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not.
Да потому что Ким профессионал.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
Звание.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Что это значит?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
Отважный ефрейтор.
The title of Yefreitor is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Yefreitor.
Нифига себе.
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect.
Но могут быть еще другие причины.
And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
Что такое декантаж?
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings.
Каких?
Kings like satellite officers and the additional Yefreitor rank I already explained.
Значит, ты терпел неугомонное поведение, потому что старше по званию? Не будем так прощаться, Ким. Так. Ну, в принципе, ладно. Спасибо, что все объяснил.
My pleasure.
Да, действительно. Действительно, я думаю, мое звание алкаш.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary.
Блин, прям душевно говоришь. Спасибо.
Good.
Возвращаемся к документу.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads.
Да уж. Действительно ценная вещь. Теперь мы уже сможем прийти к той тетке. Вспомним бы ее имя. Изучаем серию.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
Для КСП?
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
Дата выдачи.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter.
W. Freighter.
A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going.
Боже мой.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you. Of that you are sure.
Что случилось именно зимой?
I remember that time! That was a good time! We had a good work-drink balance going! What happened, man? Pump it up!
Слышь,
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor. A lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
что там?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
А когда нет?
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks.
But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Да уж. Типа, пройдешь 41-й и будешь считаться крутым.
The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
И все, хватит наслаждаться преступлением. Обновим наш мозг. Особый борщ. Разберемся. Подписи. Так. Нифига себе, тут у нас личное дело чуть заполнилось. Изабель и Лилиан. Да. Одну подпись нам надо как-то добыть. Я забыл как. Спойте под караоке. Найти катушку. Найдем. Потайные коридоры. Мне кажется, это как раз та синяя дверь в столовой. Разберемся. Та-та-да. Звонивший участок. Одежда на мусор. Быть может, мы это узнаем у тех головорезов, головотяпов. Проклятая торговая зона. Как-нибудь попробуем. Вы рассказали Лене, что Морел не вернулся из-за сломавшегося шлюза. Она все еще беспокоится, что он не вернется. Сообщите об этом Морелу, если встретите его. А он там случаем не в числе тех алкашей. Так. Перезвонить Алисе. А давай-ка перезвоним сейчас. Татуировки узнаем. Героическую птицу. Блин. Поднимите свой авторитет. Да. С обоссанным журналом в руках у нас это вряд ли получится. Отдайте карту чучело птицы. Блин, это из того домика. Так жалко, что мы их забрали. Это чучело. Возможно, карта. Не знаю, сдобрится. Вот так жизни. Вот этот галстук. Карта. Зеркало. Итак, а это вот что? Всякая прокачка. Новые варианты белый трав. Слотов нет. Очки маленькие. Секунду. Авторитет как раз. Подавляйте властным теху, заявите о себе. Бонус от предметов минус 2. Ничего себе. Психика основы. Бонус от мыслей. Ладно. Как вложим сюда? Что есть? Карта. Кит Харди. Авторитет немыслимо. Какой же мне нужен авторитет? Ладно, надо позвонить. Фига себе, так идем с этим планшетиком.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Так, Алиса. Ты что-нибудь узнала о владельце бронированных ботинок?
Not yet, but I was able to convince the database people to share private sector information. They promised to get back to me by tomorrow morning. Do you have any other questions?
То есть еще завтра. Окей.
57th, over and out.
Давай.
In the cabin, you see
Есть у меня желание снова сбегать к этому алкашу. Как мы прошли? И это еще кто нахер? Мы прошли вот по этому. Ладно, там.
rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
Что за блок obscure?
A black bloc, a part of the city left unrenovated after the war, or one that has fallen to gang violence, or has become inhospitable in some other way.
А тут все побережье такое?
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
Да уж, не будем вандалить. Хотя вот монетки возьмем. Ничего себе. Рубль 20. Слава призракам нашим. Окей. А вообще место интересное, на берегу. Кто-то припрятал под брезентом свою музыкальную коллекцию. Опа, на, это же катушка. Аудиопленка, крошка церковь, Сен-Санс. Так, ну, мы вряд ли сможем это послушать на пальцах.
There's no way to listen to the tape without a working tape player. But even just holding the tape makes you feel a little sad.
О,
A pawn shop. A pawn
грустно. То, что надо. Так, здесь не пройти. Там наши ужасные следы. Так, машина. Тупик. Пока мы рядом зайдем, послушаем кассетку. Да, доброго дня и вам.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Рассмотрим.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Так. Магнитофон для стерео 8.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Так, он работает.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music.
А, пофиг, берем.
And here you are, quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever, turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
Большое вам спасибо, сэр. Итак, где у нас инструменты? Так. Блин, ну просто топчик. Уберем пока журнал. Это будет неудобно ходить. Итак, катушка.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Слушаем.
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Безопасное расстояние.
Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Sessongs, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad.
Мега грустно. Мега.
Within seconds you know this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. This is your tune.
Офигеть. Попадание 100 из 100.
A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Споем, разумеется.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times.
А вдруг это наш авторитет поднимет перед Титом и его парнями, лохами?
Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
Какое же?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand.
Да. Возможно, мы его подкупим чучелом.
The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He does.
Так. Дела. А это из нашего? Магнитофон так херачит по зоне. Попробуем брать. Похоже на то. Или что? Или да. Да, из него. Ну что ж. Развлечем парней сейчас. Алкаши. Бетонные крепления, постоявшие не 1 десяток лет. Теперь там играют дети. Ну блин, это прям какие-то танковые ежи. Машинка наша. Скрип. Сломанная ось. Она все еще вращается. Эх, грустный вид. Печальный. Дорогущая машина. Так, ё-моё, что за пыточная. Красный стул.
It's only a red chair. Just a red chair in an empty shack, with what looked like a dusty bow tie on the shelf. Nothing to see here, right?
Мы это обязаны расследовать.
Investigate the blood red chair. You're going to leave it alone, Harry. That's what you're going to do.
Вот они империя. Пинкардон. Открутка. Берем. Место становится интересным. Плюс 2 драма. Шея. А у нас что? Проклятый глаз. Пошел нафиг. Надеваем глаз так бабочку. Давай еще. Еще и с бумбоксом. Так, а что за очки? Бейкер полицейского. Эмпатия. А у нас очки дают. Анализ минус драма. Какая нужна нафиг клубника? Берем очки крутые. Крутейшие. Самообладание, эквилибристика. Обувь, восприятие. Не, ну туфли из зеленой чешуйчатой кожи. Как могут быть? Слов нет. Предметы. Открытка. Чучело. Канистра из-под топлива. Да. Поехали. Забытый стул. Кроваво-красный. Пожалуй, берем этот бомбокс. Бензин крепкая. Блин. Время час дня. Пора.
Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
What a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Well over 10% alcohol in this so-called beer. Pop it open before it gets too warm. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it.
Погнали.
There's a satisfying pop as the cap comes off, and the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. You're home now.
Да, отставить мысли, мы пьем.
A golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting. You're you again. A real cop. A real detective. Incredibly well done.
Ну все, крутые ребята теперь.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's an alcohol button. Alcohol gives +1 to physique skills. Physical instrument, half light, electrochemistry, endurance, pain threshold, and shivers. This is good before rolling a white check, but damages your morale. And remember,
Что же помнить?
From the void we came, and to the void we must return.
Окей. Бутылку, пожалуй, берем. Болторез. Ладно. Свободные руки, свободный разум. Это у нас топок. О, наш товарищ алкаши. Шляпобетонная обложка покрыта сажей. Костровище. Можно присесть.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder.
you can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when the
Угу. Так и запишем. Косты слишком густые и колючие. Не пробраться. Может быть. Ух ты. Королевство совести. Интерлизоларные штаны. Чего? А у нас минус эквилибристика плюс электрохимия. Королевство совести. Посмотрим, как это выглядит. Ну что ж, прикольно. Оставляем.
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party.
Все, что может мужчина. Отлично. Люблю все обычное и нормальное.
I know you do. These interstellari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense? This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you.
Кому-то скучные, а кому-то идеальные. Покрытые пылью простыни, высохшие тюльпаны на кровати. Боже мой. А снег довольно быстро все накрывает. Там слева дети там играли, вроде бы. Белые занавески плотно задернуты, не дают заглянуть внутрь. Окей. Точно. Порядком стерто и покрыто ржавчиной. Окей. Так, вот так вот. Бабушка нам вроде бы как не дает подпись.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
То есть, решение. Ладно, пока. Пока. А вот где тебя? Вернемся к нашим баранам.
Tequila sunset.
Как? Мне принес выпивку?
Of course. Drink first, story later.
Держи, мистер.
Not much, but it will do.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Пожалуйста, не останавливайся.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff.
Yeah.
I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Jogging. И чё, бег помогал?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world.
Звучит как что-то дорогое.
But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
Фига он там. Визуальные образы.
His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
Реальность становилась мокрой. Насколько мокрой?
Wet, okay? It was raining really hard.
Окей, давай.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Боже мой. Промолчим.
Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
Бро, а ты действительно был крут?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this.
По-моему, ты реально дурак от рода так. Подумаешь, ключи потерял. Придурок.
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Действительно, звучит как-то очень странно.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Дурак есть дурак, хоть и рассказываешь прикольно.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen.
Да, действительно. Рассказы — это то, что у тебя есть, и этого не отнять.
Yeah. Maybe I've exaggerated certain parts over the years. When you tell a story too often, it begins to take on a life of its own. But what matters is that it's true to my subjective experience. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost.
Truly, he has the soul of an artist.
Да. Почему ты постоянно все теряешь?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty 2-piece Lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these 2 drunks.
Тогда присмотрись к этому под другим углом.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
Так, включаем нашу полицейскую тему.
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
Да, это настолько концептуально, что я не понимаю, о чем речь.
I know. It was fucking awesome. Until I went on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washed it all away.
Что за костюм?
What? You've never seen 100% Lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
А можно не трогать?
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it.
Классно написано. Потрогав ее, ты лишился, по крайней мере, 15% человеческого достоинства. Автор ржет.
Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TN, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to.
Да уж. Дураку повезло.
And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Да.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
И это хорошо для тебя.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them anytime.
Расскажи об этих товарищах.
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, tequila! You want to buy some speed?
По скидке в 100 раз? Давай.
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
Несомненно. Коп-суперзвезда.
A gurgling sound comes from the direction of the non-responsive man.
And yeah, you're already acquainted with abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
Yep. Что за куртка?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
Да, сначала украл, потом потерял, и мы это должны найти еще. Ну, для прикола возьмемся.
If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market. Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it. I'm all ears, Tequila.
Ох, да уж. Пока хватит. Алкаши из нас.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes, pissable pilsner. Drink it, then convert it to piss. And there's spirits and speed too.
Давай, товарищ. До свидания. Ходил ли я сюда вообще? Трубы или еще что похоже. Да. Чье колесо? Мотоколета. Интересно, чьи. Так, как с этим взаимодействовать? Ким читает свои необоссанные журналы. Респект. Окей. Возможно, нам надо будет перекрыть этот источник мазута или водой, смешавшейся с мазутом. Не пройти? Окей. Разжинаем, что тут творится. Церковь. Телефон. Пластмассовый купол. К зданию пока подходим. Сломанный телефон. Чья хата? Огромное здание. Ну, это церковь, да? Хотя там есть какая-то... А нет. Еще как пройти. Ты этим занималась? Фиговый зонтик.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing
Oh, hello there.
Охуенно.
it's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Дитя мое, на улице мороз. Почему ты без шапки?
Huh?
Разговаривать ты еще умеешь?
So should you.
У меня шевелюра мощная. Вообще, если подумать, мне действительно не помешала бы шапка. Не знаешь, где ее взять?
I don't know, some kind of a store? Maybe a general store? Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Так, попробуем восстановить авторитет.
Lots of feeling. Feel it up. Way up. You're saying it really loud, but it's not coming out right. Maybe add more indignation.
То есть я должен вот так вот взять шапку и... Ее, да. Ты показываешь на воображаемую шапку на своей голове. Вступить с ней в половое отношение прямо у тебя в глазах, только потому что ты мне это сказала? Прямо на льду?
More.
Прямо здесь, на льду?
More.
Блин, развлечь его спектаклем? Жесть.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Напугали бедную девочку.
The lieutenant is watching the scene unfold before his eyes, unsure how to react.
Fucking hell.
The girl looks down, slowly curling into a ball. That's it. You've earned it. Start crying. Life's hard.
Как бы то ни было, поверить не могу, что ты употребляешь настолько неприличное выражение в разговоре с полицейским. А еще тебе не помешало
The
бы.
words are stuck in your throat. All that comes out is tears pouring down your face. The young woman has kept her eyes trained on looking up. She sees a grown man on the wrong side of 40, his face bloated from alcohol, and God knows what else. Not so quietly, crying.
Жесть какая.
This isn't really about the hat, is it?
Да. А еще тебе не помешало бы надеть шапку. Это все, что я хотел сказать.
I swear to God, I will always wear a hat from now on.
Вот, относись польза. Так. А теперь не возражаешь, если я задам тебе пару вопросов?
You know, you're not the only one with issues. I self-medicate. Shit. Life's a horror, you know?
Капец. Чего мы тут копнули?
Crying helps, though. Get it out your system. And then maybe we can talk. Okay? I'll be here.
What the fuck?
Do you want to talk about what just happened?
Да, стоит поговорить.
Normally, I'm opposed to discussing one's feelings, especially on duty. But I think this is an exceptional case. So, what do you think happened?
По-моему, какой-то срыв.
'Tis possible thou couldst persuade the lieutenant 'twas all a part of thy unorthodox method. But can thou persuade thyself?
Прорыгазм. Я немного сорвался. Ничего серьезного. Все в порядке. Попробуем драму.
Thy pen of lies runneth dry. Best to simply deny the truth, bold-facedly.
Подстава.
So you're saying you didn't break down in tears just now and nearly tear your shirt off? Ага.
Да. Да я за всю жизнь не проронил ни слезинки. Меня можно пытать, меня можно покинуть. Даже развестись со мной можно. Но мои глаза останутся сухими, как пустыни. Да, именно так.
Yes, I've definitely never seen you cry before. nor lend you my handkerchief to dry your tears.
Боже мой, такое было. Эх.
Methinks my liege doth protest too much. A performance that would make the star of a radio melodrama blush.
Even so, in the future, could you please refrain from emoting too much on duty? The quasi-legal status of the RCM means we need to project strength twice as consistently as any other police force in the world.
Так, my bad. Буду свои эмоции контролировать.
Good. Controlling your emotions sounds good.
Да, согласен.
Glad to hear it was minor. Can you go on?
Конечно, суперзвезды всегда поднимаются на ноги и никогда не сдаются. Да.
Then, let's go.
Yep. Оставит.
So, like, seriously, what's eating you, man?
There is a hint of pity in her eyes. Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing, and she wears thick black eyeliner. Most men wouldn't call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
Нам бы сначала себя обозвать как-то, представиться.
Asel.
Ассель. А дальше? Блин, а фамилия?
Why?
Да и правда, зачем?
Okay.
Окей, да. Это самое. Не уделишь мне минутку?
I was wondering when you would come around. What's up?
Кажется, кое-что превращает мою жизнь в сущий ад.
What is it?
Думаю, дело в бедственном положении рабочего класса. Все сидят на шее у предпринимателей. Те, кто делает дело, закованы в кандалы. Третий вариант. Думаю, это все из-за иностранцев, которые занимают наши рабочие места. Люди постоянно ставят свои корыстные интересы превыше всеобщего плана. Глубоко берем. Ладно.
Oh, really?
Голем капитала вышел из-под контроля. Крушит и рабов, и своих создателей. Боюсь, процесс необратим.
So the thing that's got you crying in front of strangers is social justice?
Не могу сказать, что мне много удалось повидать. Однако, судя по тому, что я видел, социальная справедливость – очень незрелое понятие. Звучит довольно либерально, а потряхивает меня от трудностей, с которыми людям приходится сталкиваться. Ох, как же меня трясет от этого.
Yeah, man, they're pretty bad.
Да уж, мне просто тошно думать об этих тысячах, миллионах, миллиардах. А сколько вообще людей? Сколько людей живет?
3.6 billion, not counting those in
3,6 миллиарда. А что за жители соли? Соленый флот. Думаю, так много? У меня просто слезы с глаз, когда я думаю об этих 3,6 миллиардах людей. И еще бог знает, сколько их там в соли, сокрушенных под гнетом тирании рынка.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Are you sure you're not just hung up on some chick, though?
Слышь.
Perhaps.
Сейчас, когда ты сказала, я нашел письма, которые сам где-то выбросил. Возможно, они с этим как-то связаны.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Во-первых, они немного пахнут жвачкой. Я до сих пор слышу этот запах, даже несмотря на все это дерьмо.
Wow, man. That's pretty symbolic. Don't you think?
Да, я тоже подумал, что это очень символично.
Okay. What else?
Так, письма написаны женским почерком. И, господи, как же хреново мне становится, когда я их читаю. Аж помутнение рассудка.
There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
Да, нам бы самим знать.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
Только запах жвачки.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Хо. Ну вообще да, потому что они у нас были в секретном тайничке.
How come you don't remember though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
Да, я думаю, дело скорее в том, что я напился до таких чертей, что напрочь стер всю память об этом мире.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
Точно бахом.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Да.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What the fuck? Что такое кёнигштайнская дрочка?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Жесть. Ну, спасибо тогда за сеанс психотерапии.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Фу. Спасибо.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
Да, чем ты тут занимаешься?
Recording, I guess.
Не присылаешь? И что именно?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
А зачем ты все это записываешь?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
АСМР, короче.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
Ничего себе.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy.
Так, тихо, тихо.
She feels childish,
Надо ее поддержать.
very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, your code.
Нифига Ким.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
Да.
It's okay.
Вот тут бы не пригодился головной упор. О, боже мой. Лучше прямо взглядное место. Поддержим этот разговор.
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
Какие планы?
Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
Твои маленькие плавки?
And why is that?
Действительно. Почему ты здесь можно еще парни снять внутри? Парни это что? Что-то игрушечное?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Так.
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Жесть.
Go ahead.
Магнитофон валяется на виду. Эх, боже мой. Расскажи про этот музыкальный клуб.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
Да. Это церковь шестиэтажная, знаешь? Что такое анодная танцевальная музыка?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Какими еще электронными инструментами?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like.
Ничего себе.
If it ever comes.
Клево. Получается, вы хотите превратить церковь в клуб?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right?
Почему кладешь?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
Так, посмотрим.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Да ладно, пока хватит про церковь.
Go ahead.
Белая проверка. Ну, 28%. Это почти треть. Так что попробуем.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath you see a reel of tape rolling.
Да, пока все.
Put the device back on the ice.
Надеть шапку уже. Что это за устройство?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
А провода?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. Okay.
Ладно, давай, говори.
Okay. Bye.
Палатка довольно большая. Займемся ей.